everybody, it's Frankie-Lou. I'm here in the greenhouse in the sky today where I am working hard to maintain this garden alongside one of my favorite beneficial bugs. Now, everybody loves the ladybug, and for good reason, because ladybugs are really great at keeping aphids under control in our greenhouses and our gardens. But there's another bug that is so misunderstood, and it is actually in many ways more beneficial than a ladybug. And I'm going to show you one of those right now. You see that cute little guy? That's a hoverfly. Hoverflies are true flies, and they are often mistaken as wasps because they do mimic wasps and bees with their stripes. That's to protect them from their predators. But they're not going to harm you at all. They're completely stingless. They are extremely harmful, though, to many of the pests that are eating our plants, like aphids, like thrips, like mites, and a host of other pests as well. How can we identify a hoverfly from these things? Well, here, I'll show you. Hoverflies can range in size from 1/2 inch to 2.5 inches, and most of them are striped. They are different from bees and wasps, though, in that they have flattened bodies, one set of wings, and they tend to have big eyes for the size of their bodies. The reason they're so great is you notice that hovering flight they do, they require a whole lot of food in order to maintain that erratic flight pattern that they have where they hover. So they eat a lot of nectar, they eat a lot of pollen. That brings them from flower to flower to flower and causes a lot of great pollination. They also are cold hardy. So in many places in the world where it's a little cooler, they're one of the primary pollinators, sometimes rivaled only by the native bees of that area. And also because they can tolerate the cooler weather, they tend to be the ones that you're going to be your first pollinators that are going to come out in the spring and the last pollinators working in the fall as well. So they're really, really, really important. In terms of their predatory skills, it's actually the larva that does the most damage to the bad bugs in your garden. What'll happen is a female will lay an egg on a plant that she sees that is infested with its favorite food, whether it be thrips or aphids or mites, whatever it might be. Females will lay one egg at a time on these plants, and the larvae go to town. There's a lot of studies that suggest that they can eat up to 500 before they become their adult form. So they're really worth having around. And I've noticed that we have an extremely healthy hoverfly population here in the greenhouse in the sky, which means we don't have that many of these pests. How did we do this? Well, there's several things that you can do to help support your hoverflies and to encourage them to be around. A, stop using your pesticides, stop using your herbicides. Those things are extremely harmful to them. They're extremely sensitive to that. They also tend to love the colors yellow and white, and I have actually noticed this myself in my garden. So I plant a lot of clustered flowers as companion plants in those colors to help maintain that population and bring them in. So those would be things like this white icicle radish. That's a great companion plant for my squash plants anyways because it deters the squash bugs. It brings around my hoverflies. I obviously am not having any problem with my squash being pollinated, probably because of that really healthy hoverfly population I have. There are a lot of herbs that will also attract them, like chervil, dill, and yarrow. These are all clustered plants with lots and lots of little flowers. Another thing that you can do to help preserve your hoverfly population is to keep moist mulch around leaf litter, wood piles. This is where they can lay their eggs or that their larvae can pupate and become adults. So we want to provide them with a good habitat. So food and forage for them, which is like these yellow and white clustered flowers like I talked about, and also providing a place for them to overwinter, like your leaf litter, and for them to go through their life cycle. So I'm going to give you one more peek at these cute little guys. Now, how could anybody not think they're wonderful? So I hope that was helpful. I hope you will give these beautiful little bugs a chance. I hope you will stop killing them. Please do not swat these guys. Do not squish them. They are not wasps. They're your best buddies. As always, ask any questions, and I hope you will take this chance to grow together today. See you soon.